Boom. Welcome back to another episode of Rotten Reviews. I'm here with my boy. Introduce yourself, big fella.
Hi, I'm Bruce. I'm 28 years old. I like long walks on the beach, and
So,
that's my thing
ladies,
there.
if you hear it, he likes long walks on the beach. Go. For all five of you who listen to this podcast, all five of the women who listen to it, go hit my boy up. He's single. And he's highly fertile at this time of the year. So
That remains to be seen.
hey, anyway, we're here today. Let's talk about this Flash movie. This is the new Flash movie that came out. Some people like it, some don't. You're the guest. Let me hear you talk about it for a little bit.
Well, first things first, I'm honored you have me on. Appreciate any chance to get to talk with you, especially about things like this.
No problem.
I don't know where to start with this because we wind the clocks back to I don't know when they made the announcement for Ezra Miller as the Flash, for Barry Allen specifically. I was already not a fan of it. Not like the level of people hating Ben Affleck is the idea of Batman. No, I didn't really know much about him except for that Perks of a what's that movie?
Something about Kevin? No, we need to talk about
No,
Kevin.
no, it was with Logan Lerman, the guy from Fury. Yeah. Well, regardless, he was in one of those coming of age teeny bopper movies, and I saw him and I checked out a few things on the reel and just little clips of him here and there, and I was like, this, they want this. And then as soon as I saw Justice League, he was the one part I absolutely hated about it of an already really bad movie. Every scene he spoke in and he was doing his cues and his ticks was as gratifying as rubbing my nuts on a cheese grater, if I can speak a little crass there. But it's not because of him as an actor per se, because I do think that there's talent there. It's just I don't like the idea of what they went for with this version of Barry Allen. I'm not saying that Barry Allen had to be the most complex character of all time, because he was someone that they had to retroactively write and change and add more character to during his time. I remember being there being a time growing up as a kid that Barry Allen wasn't the Flash, it was Wally West, because Barry Allen died in the 80s for was a Crisis on Infinite Earth, where he sacrificed himself in that that machine. So I feel like Ezra Miller would have been great for Bart Allen, Impulse, similar how they did in Young Justice, where he's very hyper verbal with certain layers of oh man, that's he can be serious, or oh man, that's why he is the way he is because of trauma, or the pain of a dark future that he had to come from, maybe things like that. But there was moments in this movie where I did think he was funny. I think because they knew how to elevate certain parts of it with some moments of levity that you kind of need with something as tough to digest as multiverse and time travel. And I guess not to go on too much about his performance, he really wasn't that bad to me. And I'm not usually his biggest fan, especially who he is as a person. He was not worth defending all the the backlash that Warner Brothers was doing to inhale copium to keep the movie going. He's yeah. But I think he did good as the young Barry too, and the overall idea of the villain I really enjoyed. But all in all, I think Michael Keaton definitely really was what put butts in the seats, and he really was the best part of the movie for me. I was really happy to see him. Even for a few lines were kind of Marvel, Star Wars, fan service grab you with oh, he said the line. Some of the Easter eggs were already solid enough where I would appreciate just that. But all in all, I thought the movie was a 8.5 out of 10. But I think I said this on Snap and Facebook. I was the special effects budget went to Ezra Miller's lawyers, because what in God's name were they thinking with those
defense force?
Green screen.
Went to the defense case. But me personally, I was there for Supergirl. Listen, I forgot her name.
She was very enjoyable too.
Ooh, she was. Ooh. She looked good in that suit. I was personally there for see her for real. But back to the point
actress too.
Back to the point about Ezra, I feel like you said, his the way they wrote the character doesn't really fit Wally. Not Wally, Barry. I think if it was Wally, But that's the Flash I grew up on with the Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah.
When he's always making jokes, I'm thinking, oh well, if he was kind of like that, he was Wally. Then I think feel like this will be a little bit more better. But I think like Barry's a little bit more serious. Like I'm sure he makes jokes or whatnot, but it seems like Barry as a character is a little bit more serious. And there are times like this character doesn't like fit the way Barry is. I feel like it fits Wally more, but I did kind of like his performance in this. I ain't gonna lie, the emotional stuff with him and like having to accept his mother's death and all that, like the emotional stuff. But he did really good with that. I did like the emotional stuff out of him, man. And to be honest, I ain't gonna lie, I liked the movie. I wanted to be one of the people to be like, oh, this movie's ass, this movie's terrible.
Same.
But I wanted to be like, you know what? This is not a half bad movie. This is a movie I can watch again. This is a pretty good movie. And I feel like it will get not accepted. Well, it will be better financially if Ezra Miller was an asshole. If he wasn't a piece of shit.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for all these antics, this movie would probably be making a lot of money right now.
I liked what they had with Ben Affleck's Batman. I wasn't a fan of like the way he was handled. Like I like Ben Affleck as an actor. He's a great director too. I liked his look for Batman. The costumes they gave him were like gorgeous costumes.
Yeah. He's a good Batman. I like him Batman. I wish we could have got a little bit more of him. But.
It's a shame. It felt like he finally hit his stride. But this is realistically the last time he's ever going to want to play the character.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about Batman vs Superman. The more I think about Batman vs Superman, the angrier I get. I don't
think both brothers. It's just back-to-back flops. So it's just I only watched those movies once, and I keep it that way. And like I tried to sit through like the Snyder cut, and I just like.
No. I watched all the Snyder Cut at the middle of the night. The night it released, I watched all of it. And
like the slow motion and like the music cues.
Cram everything in it. But we get off topic. But yeah, I like Michael Keaton Batman. And confession, I still haven't seen Batman 89. I still haven't seen it.
Whoa. You never seen the Tim Burton Batman movie?
I've not seen that or Batman Returns. I haven't. I've probably seen Batman and Robin multiple times growing up. I don't even think I've seen Batman Forever, to be honest. But Tim Burton Batman movies, I have not.
Whose man's is this?
I don't know. Take my movie card away. I haven't seen it. I'm sorry. I just haven't seen it.
That's all right, man. They got it all on Max. Well, used to be HBO Max.
It's been on my HBO Max queue forever, and I just not sat down and watched it yet.
If you'll see it, you'll see why Keaton gets all like the praise and like the love that he gets.
Yeah, which is funny. I feel like we go through this thing about Batman every time. There's a new Batman. Like there's like clips even from the '80s when they found out he was going to be Batman. Be like, oh, Mr. Mom is Batman. Ew. Then they see the movie. Oh, he's great. We go to when they cast a new Batman in 20, 30 years. The cycle's gonna continue.
Ben Affleck's what Batman should be. What I love about like the variety of Batman that we've had is that each of them are like they tend to be reflections of the comics at the time they were written, or if they had enough material that they pull from that type of era. So Keaton's Batman was like a bit of a play on like the 1939 like 40 Batman when he first came out, where he was just a scalp collector. He had zero compunction on killing enemies. If he thought you were a problem. Yeah, if he thought you were a problem, like that was it. You only got to have one issue. I don't know if he had many recurring villains. He made sure of that. And Keaton's was the same way, where he'd kill. And so I love the line in the movie where he's like, Gotham hasn't had crime in years. I'm like, yeah, because you killed everybody.
You killed everybody. You killed Joker. You killed Penguin. Who's gonna try you, Batman? Nobody's gonna want to try you.
Like, this man literally like strapped a bomb on someone and punched him in the face and knocked him in a manhole. And just walked away, and you see an explosion, just chunks raining in the air. Like he was the closest thing you get to a slasher villain. I love the idea. Oh, I'm sorry.
I wonder in this universe, is like Catwoman still around? Is it like Bruce Wayne? Oh, maybe Catwoman. Maybe him.
You have to see your turns to have that. You have to see your turns to have that question answered.
I haven't seen her. Did she die? I don't know. I'm just watching. I'm
watching. Yeah, you gotta see it. The one thing I like about Keaton being in this movie with how batshit insane, no pun intended, this entire movie was, I think he's the perfect Batman for it, because he's just his Batman's already off the walls to begin with, and he actually is like, it's bad when he looks at an idea and he goes, "That's crazy, but I'll support it." But like, I got nothing better to
Let's do
do.
it.
Why not?
I'll strap you to and shoot lightning at you. Let's do it. Yeah, I was suicide.
Let's attack her like a Russian commando.
Watch,
Like base.
this is gonna have some spoilers. It's gonna have major spoilers. Should have talked about that earlier, but fuck it, spoilers. But yeah, I'll crash my ship
Put down the tag.
into a Kryptonian shield. I'll crash my ship and die. I will fight a Kryptonian who can tank all my hits. He was a crazy man. I fear for his life. Like he is a crazy man. Like even like the Batman Superman. At least he had kryptonite. This Batman just going at him with nothing. Like if I die.
That Batman was always about that action. He never shied from like a fighter, like wanting to like gun down people or blow people up. He's all for crazy ideas. One of his best lines of all time that people always quote is, "You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts."
But that adrenaline when he was looking in the mirror, like sewing himself up, like, yeah, I missed this shit.
Yeah, that's what's cool about having like an old Batman actor that gets really like that felt really well executed and it felt right for Michael Keaton. And like they don't show that side of like an older Batman enough where he's like getting older and tired and more weary. I guess my like complaint about him, I don't know if it's a complaint, but it's like he fought in that movie like how I used to think he fought as a kid, like 7, 8, growing up in elementary school when I first saw that movie and I used to love it, watching it all the time. But seeing him like CG'd and like flying and swooping around, it's like 72, 73 years old. Like if they had a cool write-in like flavor text where it's like, oh, well, he has like kind of like a low key like lo-fi enhanced suit like Batman Begin. I'm sorry, not Batman Begins. I'm sorry, Batman Beyond, where like Bruce had to make the suit that he made for that very reason of getting older and needing like a bit more help in the strength department, reflexes, speed. That would make more sense to me, but he's just flying around in a rubber suit, like just dog walking pieces left and right.
Yeah, just drawing caution into the wind. Like, this is my last ride as Batman. So if I go out, I'm going out with a bang. This is my last ride. I'm going out with a bang.
If you told me as a kid that, because you'll see that the kitchen scene that he had to fight with both the Barrys in was the entire set was almost like probably one for one of the original Wayne Manor from the first two movies. And they had like a little kitchen where him and Vicky Vale and Alfred have a really nice one scene with each other. They use that exact scene for the jumping. If you told me 20 years ago as a kid that there would be another movie with Michael Keaton coming back as Batman to just be a crazy hobo man, just try to like jump like Barry Allen like in his kitchen, I wouldn't believe it.
Yeah. But speaking of, I was about to say something else. Good Lord, I forgot. Shoot. Oh, how do you feel? How do you feel about those like CGI cameos at the end? How do you feel about that?
I wanted this movie kind of really definitely absolutely high. Like I was like higher than like inflation or like draft pussy. And when I saw it, it was already kind of trippy. Like already like the most of the movie. So seeing that, I was like, I already kind of half expected it. But because I mean, if you're gonna have Michael Keaton, how are they not gonna like throw like a bunch of crazy multiverse of madness kind of things at us? Seeing the George Reeves Batman did kind of make like my heart warm because that was the Superman. I'm sorry, George Reeves Superman was the one I grew up with a little bit with my father. We used to watch the show all the time on Saturday mornings when he make me breakfast when I was like a really little kid. Christopher Reeve and the Supergirl, I like what they were going for, but the CG looked really rough on them. All the CG in the movie just looked really rough in the face compositing. You still see the scan lines for the compositing for like the faces, but I mean, the one thing I did really pop and appreciate, shout out to my friend Matt Brody, was the Nicolas Cage Superman because there's literally a documentary dedicated to it.
That was crazy.
The second I saw the spider and the rocks, I knew what we were in for. And I looked at my friend Matt and I was like,
that shit was, I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, hey, yo, like I saw it on, like I saw a lot of the spoilers on Twitter. I'm like, hey, I'm still seeing the movie anyway. But then I just to see it on screen, like these niggas crazy. They actually did this. They actually put this in the movie. It was funny to see. I ain't gonna lie, it was funny to see. Now I want to see the actual Nick Cage Spider-Man movie, Superman Spider movie. I want to see it now. Actually, somebody got to make it before he dies. Somebody got to make it. At least make it animated or something. I need it.
And then, I absolutely enjoyed that. That was a fun little callback.
Speaking of cameos, that ending one, George with old boy, Batman and Robin. That got a pop out of me. I ain't gonna lie.
The whole theater I was in was like kind of low key, like not empty, but it could have been a bit more packed. It was premiere night that I went, so it was kind of rough for what the box office might look like for that movie. But I'm not much of a box office projectionist, so I'll save my opinion on that. But the whole room went nuts, and I would like literally me and my friend were laughing so hard when we saw that part that like I couldn't feel my face after because not only is he still really screwed, but yeah, that I thought I heard Michael Keaton's voice on the phone because I remember there was supposed to be a plan where I think Michael Keaton was supposed to take over for Ben Affleck as Batman, which is why they did the Batgirl movie.
Yeah,
and I thought I heard his voice on the phone. But then all of a sudden, I see George Clooney get out the car, and I was like, "There is no
George
way."
Like George Clooney. Like yeah, that part got me because I never think, oh, George Clooney never gonna come back and do this Batman again. Like yo, that's how they get George Clooney, man. That's what half the other budget went to convince him to do this little 5-second shot. But that part got me.
Yeah, actually, that got a pop out of me. I was expecting like a Val Kilmer like callback at some point because like it doesn't surprise me either or because like the Burton verse and the Schumacher verse, like which I still hate that they split because if you watch the first two movies, I'll say this: watch Batman '89, watch Returns, and watch Forever. What is a trilogy? That they treated Kilmer's Batman as Keaton, so it made like a nice little wrapped up story where he gets to have a Robin and like a really good storyline that actually focused on Bruce and his psychology with references to the previous two movies. So it's a shame because Val in like that entire movie had a tragic nature of a lot of unused material that people want to start making a movement for on Twitter called the Schumacher's Cut for Forever. There's like documentaries probably dedicated. So it's really crazy.
Apparently, Kevin Smith said he got like a 3-hour version of the movie that he's gonna.
Really?
Yeah. They could do like a little interview saying, "Yeah, I have the full movie. I was gonna say he's gonna show it at like some event or something." I remember him I saw a thing of him talking about it though.
Wow,
so that's interesting. But low key, I like Val. Low key, I never seen Batman Forever, but I've seen like pictures of like Val Kilmer in like the suit as Bruce Wayne. Like he's a good looking Bruce Wayne. He's like the only blonde Bruce Wayne, but he low key. I'll take a blonde Bruce Wayne. He low key looks good at it, doesn't
he was very good because of the fact that and that's one thing I like about all this different variety of Batman that I mentioned earlier was that like if Keaton was like the 1939 like a callback to that kind of era of Bruce Wayne and Batman where it was like Batman was like a terror of the night. Val Kilmer was more like the modern day Batman to that point, what we still kind of have right now, where he was like the Bronze Age, like where in like the bit of the animated series, which animated series was really inspired a lot of by the Bronze Age, where this Batman was more sensitive and vulnerable, and had like a duality. He could still be serious, but he might crack a joke here and there for levity, but he didn't do it too often. But he struggled with guilt and what usually drove him to be Batman. And you see a lot of that in the modern stories you see. So it's tragic that like they got to have like this really cool idea for a take where Bruce is having like these flashbacks to his parents' murder, and he doesn't exactly know why. And it turns out as the movie goes on, because he keeps being torn between wanting to be Bruce and wanting to be Batman. They were supposed to have a lot that went into that, but they cut it to make it like a fun '95 summer blockbuster movie. But like not to rain on much about that, but I promise you watch that and then look it up after. You'll be kind of like. You'll go down a rabbit hole. It's really cool.
Man, God, this went from a Flash review to talking about Batman. This
is pretty much with the possibilities now. It's hard not to.
Pretty much. Like one of my friends was joking, like the Flash is basically a Batman movie because it's all you see promotion for is Batman. Which I understand you don't want to promote the criminal, the active criminal. You don't want to have him over all the promotions. So I understand why they
the narrative. And like the overall, like the way that the plot went, and like at least how they did like the Snyderverse events that like they call back to, so we can move away from the.
It was funny. It was cool seeing Ben Affleck back and Gal Gadot's non-acting ass back as Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
She looks good in the suit. That's all I said. That's all I'm saying about her as Wonder Woman.
The theme song is cool too. It's not like the.
I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. Oh, the moment she popped up and I heard that first chord, like, ugh, please stop playing that. This is terrible.
Yeah, but the theme song was pretty heat though.
Overall, like narrative, and then like him figuring out he could time travel, and like it's actually funny when he goes back into time and the world is different. It's like why they're talking about movies and like
Eric
fucking
Stoltz is
Kevin Bacon,
Marty
Top
McFly.
the Top Gun. Eric Stokes is Marty McFly. Is funny. It makes me think, well, what other superstar like actors in different movies are supposed to be like fucking? Is Eddie
Michael J.
Murphy?
Fox in Footloose and Kevin Bacon in Top Gun.
Like, that's funny. Like, is Eddie Murphy the Terminator? Is OJ the Terminator in this universe? That's funny. You know, I always thought that was a joke until I like actually seen like James Cameron talk about it. I saw it on, I think I sent you the TikTok. You're like, oh, it was between OJ and Arnold Schwarzenegger. And it goes to
That was
Schwarzenegger.
true.
Like,
Lance Henriksen
like,
too.
they used OJ because I'm back to see him as killer. And they just screen framed the Arnold Schwarzenegger like a funny face. Like, well, OJ didn't seem as a killer. Like, it's hilarious timing. But back to the Flash. We're getting off topic. We're getting off topic. But yeah, overall narrative. It's the third, fourth time trying to use Flashpoint as a narrative, but I enjoyed it. Seeing the one Barry keep going back in time, trying to save Supergirl from dying, and like, hey man, we're at a part we're in an editive. I can't say that word. Like, this is gonna happen, so we can't stop it at this point. And then him getting like frustrated, it was pretty cool. And then seeing him come back a different time with like another stab wound or another piece of weapon stuck in him, and him keep going like, oh, he's about to turn to Dark Flash.
That was a really good writing. That I thought was a really good cue that they did.
Oh, the Dark Flash jump scare kind of got me too. I didn't see that coming. I knew he was going to pop up eventually, but when he popped up, it was like they hinted at him early in the movie, but at the part when he jumps out the end,
I had a feeling
I thought that was pretty great.
I really like the idea that they didn't let
who's playing Dark Flash. But I low key like his little time on the screen. Maybe they did Ezra again, but I don't know who they got to play him. I like the way he delivered his like lines.
It was Ezra. You could tell it was Ezra.
Yeah. Well, it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it.
I like that the heroes didn't get to win, and it was like a kind of a scary reality where it's like if you don't have Superman, you're not going to win. It's like the intersection moment and like the realization of it. But I really like the dialogue that they gave Barry and Bruce, where he's like, "I'm sorry, like I can't bring you back," and he goes, "You already did." I thought that was nice, simple, but like really effective.
Good little heartbreaker. Good little,
yeah, it was.
Little heartstring puller. And it is like kind of like the Flashpoint movie, comic, because at a point in the new world, he realized that this world can't be saved either. Because have you read Flashpoint Paradox or seen the movie?
I did.
Oh, great. It's like both of them. Where, he realizes I can't save this world. I have to go back to my eyes. And that is a pretty heartbreaking part when he does realize that. In the scene in the grocery store, him talking to his mom, that hurt. That hurt. I ain't gonna lie. Like, he's pretty good. I got to answer this. They pretty good at the emotional stuff. He was pretty good at that. The Lord,
I have a question for you. It's for the movie. I have a question. Do you think that Michael Shannon as Zod? Do you think it was really him, or was it CGI? Because my friends were asking, we can't tell.
It could have been CGI, because he never gets out the suit, so they could have just had his face on something like, "Hey, Mike, we need you to say these couple lines." It's like how you remember in No Way Home where they had Sandman just in sand the entire time.
Yeah,
it could have been just like that, but they just like using voice lines and they vocapped his face over.
Or they could have used the vocoder like they're doing for Darth Vader and a lot of the new Marvel shows for Star Wars, like Obi-Wan. Like an AI did that, maybe. Like a trained AI.
Oh, speaking of which, I think the CGI when they had with the two berries together, I think that was really good. Like
that for as much as I'm crap on the CG, that part of the CG was pretty good.
That stuff was good. Like some of it's not as bad as people made out to be. Some of it did look ugly. Like he was in the little chrono ball and they showed stuff that looked kind of like
the cameos, all that just looked rough.
Yeah, but most of the stuff looked pretty fun. The final battle looked a little kind of iffy at points. But other than that, there was some good CGI moments in the movie. Yeah, overall, it's not a half bad movie. I feel like this movie is gonna be like listening to R. Kelly's music because
I was
Ezra
just
and R.
thinking
Kelly
about that the other day because
are
the only R.
both
Kelly song I liked
not
was "You
good
Got That Vibe."
are not good people, and telling people still listen to R. Kelly and telling people you're gonna like this movie, they're gonna just look at you sideways like.
Separate the art from the artist.
Yeah. And it's gonna be like whenever John DeMajor, because we all know Marvel's not dropping John DeMajor. They've invested too much money into this man. They're not gonna do it.
Yeah,
They're gonna shoot these Kang movies and keep it pushing.
they kind of shot themselves in the foot though, because if they were really smart, because they're not really going to work with the Snyderverse anymore. This could have been their attempt to kind of pull like an X-Men Days of Future Past, where it gets to be like a clean, soft reboot, where you get to still like try to do your best to like honor what kind of came before it that needed to be cleaned up because of how convoluted it got or how messy the original trilogy and that timeline got with like the prequel movies and all that, and instead like try to like get back to formula. But they decided to just stay with Ezra Miller, and I'm like,
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
please no, I
So
can't.
hopefully, whenever James Gunn got cooking, maybe he'll give us a new Flash. Hopefully,
Oh, I
whenever he's
forgot.
cooking up,
That's right.
yeah, whatever James Gunn cooking, I hope it can't be no worse in the Snyderverse. It can't be no worse in the Snyderverse. Whatever he's working, it can't be any worse.
I never count that guy out. He's giving us every reason to trust him. So
Like, I love Man of Steel. It's a shame that Batman vs Superman was the next movie,
I do feel
but
bad for him.
I don't want to think about it. I don't want the Snyder cultists get a hold of this video and in our comment section trying to dox us. I don't want that to happen.
That's fair, but I can do the one thing they can't. Know the touch of grass and a woman.
Oh yeah, those crazy people. Those people are crazy. Snyder, I don't understand what he did to make these people this obsessed with these movies. Like, I don't get it.
I don't know. It's like the pseudo intellectuals are like. I mean, if people can look and I go, yeah, it's really shit, but there's things I like about it. I can respect that. Or like, if it's like, yeah, I understand this has a ton of flaws, but like, I try to see through it for the things that like could have been really good. There's things that we're all into that make us feel and argue for that. But the way that they're really like, there's like this. It's like a group mellow mass hysteria. Like, there's a group psychosis that really makes them think that like Batman vs Superman and the Justice League and just like the rest of how these movies were handled were a good idea. And like Man of Steel was kind of solid. I liked Man of Steel for the most part.
Yeah, I like this. I saw Man of Steel 3 times actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then there was a group of people on Twitter. They were making like weird AI videos telling people trying to get Netflix to buy the Snyderverse. Like, sell it to Netflix. I'm like, have you seen Netflix CGI movies? Like, I don't know if it's something you want to do.
Could you imagine if there was like a modern day, like, remember how like for the Killing Joke where they killed Jason Todd, there was a vote that fans had to call in. Apparently this one guy got like dozens and dozens and hundreds of phones or found like a way to rig it. I forget what the story was, but he basically rigged the votes to get Jason Todd killed. I feel like we're gonna have a modern day version of that with these movie
Hey,
petitions.
that's how Zack Snyder won. Like, it was a fan vote Oscar, and he won it because a lot of bots voted his name. Yeah, this was like a year ago, 2 years ago.
Forgot about that.
It's recent.
Twitter.
Yeah, this is recent. These people are weird. Like,
I just
I've got problems with Zack
Start.
Snyder. I hope he succeeds. I hope Rebel Moon comes out and is really good. But his DC movies.
I'm happy he got his chance to have his vision brought out there because it's for the fans, and I'm sorry for what happened with him, like his daughter. No father should ever have to go through it. Yeah, I hope he's doing okay today. But like, I have one last question for you. What do you think they'll do with Robert Pattinson's Batman? Do you think if like James Gunn goes forward, is that a Batman that can still stay in his own thing, or do you think they'll try to be cheap and like?
He said when they did when he first got announced to do the DCU stuff, he said that we're gonna have our own like DC universe, and the other DC stuff like Rob Pattinson is gonna be like called DC Elseworlds.
Oh, thank God!
So, like,
I love
Elseworlds. So it's gonna be separate.
Thank God. Okay.
So, and Joker 2, Batman, that's have their own world, and the DCU is gonna be its own thing too. Which I think I don't know how it's gonna work in the long haul, but I think it'll work out better for that way.
Yeah,
I
That's
am
fair.
looking forward to Blue Beetle though. Blue Beetle's like a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing Blue Beetle.
I love Jolo Mardueña. I think he's a wonderful actor, and I love seeing him
I
grow
still
up and
haven't
go.
seen the last season of Cobra Kai.
You're missing out. Really
I've
fun
not
film.
seen it yet.
Missing out.
I need to watch it. I have to leave. I think I love the shit posting group. It got a little. It got a little weird.
Yeah, okay, yeah. If y'all are watching this, all four of our viewers, like if you're a part of that membership in that group, you're part of the problem. No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
people proud of problems, but I'm looking
There
forward
are
to
some
Blue
cool
Beetle.
people,
That's gonna be
but
cool.
that
Yeah, I'm looking
Sophia
forward to.
posting got kind of
They're all sipping over that one girl who joined the chat, joined the group.
Sophia. Sophia,
Like,
I
relax.
think was her name, right?
She can't fuck all y'all now. Relax.
She's not gonna read this, little bro.
Yeah, she's not gonna read this, fella. She's not gonna read this. She's not gonna heart react your post, fam. Keep it pushing. That's a deep cut. If you get it, you get it. If you know, you know. But yeah, I hope. I mean, I'm looking forward to Batman: Brave and the Bold because finally, I don't know what took him so damn long. We're finally getting Robins in movies. Like, I feel like they saw Batman and Robin do bad, and they're a director who had a Batman movie.
Which
Like,
is a
okay, no
bummer
Robins.
because his first appearance in Batman Forever, he was solid. He was one of the best parts of the movie because they gave him like a good, genuine arc that was fulfilled because him and Bruce's story ran parallel. So like I wish that they'd let us actually have a Robin and like that really great like father son dynamic and what makes
Yeah.
Dick Grayson a great character and like the rest of the Bat family. Like they need to stop being scared of that. I agree.
Yeah, so hopefully, because I know in the new one, Brave and the Bold, they're gonna have like Batman, and Damien. They said they're gonna have pretty much all the Bat family in it. And so it's gonna be a Damien and Bruce story. He said they're gonna have Nightwing and
Is
everybody
it
else.
live action or is it?
Yeah, it's live action.
Oh.
The dude who directed Flash is gonna direct it. Actually.
Oh, I liked his camera work. I meant to say that earlier. I really liked the camera work in that movie, especially in the beginning scene where he's like trying to save the babies. Which Ezra Miller putting a baby in a toast like in a microwave is just a Tuesday for him. But like
Yeah,
that
I
had
hate,
been crazy.
I hate the way he runs.
I don't
I
like
hate
it.
the way
But I
he
like
runs.
it. They were classy. They made fun of it too, and he was a you know like the way they had Barry when he was like running around. I thought it was pretty funny.
I did like the. I think it was funny when he was doing the first opening credits when the thing was showing up and then the girl screams out and it stops. I think that was funny.
That was pretty good.
That was funny. But it was. I did the opening scene was really good because they showed Batman and Bruce. We got more Batman shit. I'm a sucker for my favorite superhero is Superman and Cyclops, but I'm a sucker for some Batman shit. Let's see Batman.
Oh, you just reminded me. I forgot to text you this. Thank you. When I saw my viewing of it with my friends and all that, and I got up and I turned around, there was this guy behind me wearing a bright red shirt with his girlfriend that said Cyclops was right. And I literally just started cracking up laughing when I saw the shirt, and he looks at me and he understood what I was laughing at when I saw the shirt. And I looked and I said, I don't blame him. I'd be pissed too if some Canadian hobo came into my house macking on my girl.
Exactly.
Unless it was Hugh Jackman, that's kind of fair, but
Exactly. But yeah, but that was great. It was,
Yeah.
but yeah, the Batman scene was pretty good. When he dove through the fire, it zipped. Oh, I'm a sucker for it. I'm a sucker for some Batman shit.
that whole bridge sequence was so
Oh,
cool.
that's
Because that's
pretty
kind of how I
cool.
imagine Batman in the comics and like the video games. Like Arkham.
The little suit he had, like it kept the
Yeah.
light bluish gray suit. It looked a little similar to like the '70s one a little bit.
Which I think was the intention.
The '70s comics one when it was
Was
light
that in
blue.
Jim Lee? The Jim Lee run, he did that too.
It's low key my favorite Batman suit with the light blue, the gray.
Yes,
It
sir.
looks nice. It looked nice.
Gentleman's choice.
That's low key my favorite Batman suit of all of them. But
Me
yeah,
too.
this movie, I guess it gave something for everybody. We got some Flash, got some Batman.
Yeah.
The Batfleck fans can be happy with it. All 5 of the Gal Gadot Wonder Woman fans can be happy with it. And the Michael Keaton fans got surprised. And shout out to, I can't remember her name, the lady who playing Supergirl. Oh my god! I hope if you watching this, hit my line. She will.
Yeah, you know what?
When she put on that suit, ooh wee.
Thanks for saving my life in that orphanage that one time.
Hey, no
That
problem, big
was
fella. No problem. No problem.
uh,
All in the day's work. All just a Monday afternoon. Just a Monday afternoon. Yeah, man. When she put on that suit, oh, she looked great in it.
yeah.
Yeah, the color. I love the color scheme. It
She did
was
really
actually
well.
color to it.
Yeah, she did really well for the short amount of time she was in it, but they made it pretty impactful, and you felt really bad for her and like that, like Barry, because like of his infatuation with her and like him like trying to rescue her and he can't.
Yeah. But you can't risk everybody. When he found out, when she found out Zod killed little baby Clark, I like, oh, get this nigga, get him. But it was great. I love this movie. I ain't gonna say I loved it. I like it. It's something I can watch again. If it come
Yeah,
on 4K, I'll buy the 4K of it. Hopefully by then the CGI looks a little better.
it was supposed to look like that on purpose. Like, okay, Andy, all right.
Nah, fam. Y'all just ran out of money paying for this man lores. Y'all just ran out of money trying to promote this movie and trying to make sure this man don't fuck it up any more than he already did.
Not
Hopefully
wrong.
by the DVD the CGI looks a little better. Remember Cass got a got a got a balance update while it was still in theater. That was funny. Like the week of Cass came out, like, hey, this CGI looks funny. Like, oh yeah, we gonna put the updated CGI version in theaters this week. Like I never seen a movie in real life get a patch update.
Which
While it's
was
still
a
in theater.
few.
So
Remember
what?
they did that Avengers Endgame screening and they had like that really bad
Oh
like
yeah,
after
that
credit with
ugly
the
ass
Hulk.
Hulk scene. They put it back in
Oh,
theater just for that. Like, oh, we're gonna. That's crazy. Avengers came out and they put it back in and said, we're gonna beat Avatar. We're gonna beat the highest grossing movie ever. And Avatar 2 came out like, no, you not. It's still my bro. This all off the rip. Shout out James Cameron. I ain't seen Avatar 2 yet, but I don't know how he did it. How he do it? I don't know how he do it. How he did it. This movie came out 10 years later. Everybody saying
yeah,
Avatar 2, this
true.
gonna be some man. I ain't gonna see this $2 billion later. We finna get Avatar 3 in 2030.
Which is
I don't know
crazy to
how he
me.
did it. I don't know how he did it, but applause to the man. He made people care about these blue people.
This year has been really weird because we have so many, like like these past few years have been weird because like you got all these people are back playing these parts again, and it's like, what year is it?
Yeah. We got new Indiana Jones movie coming out 2 weeks.
Yeah, like we're low key in 1989 again. Like
Oh,
next,
gee.
all we need next is like a Lethal Weapon 2. Like,
Oh, we're not gonna see Mel Gibson on screen for a long time.
yeah, that's
People
fair. That's fair.
people think about Ezra. People saying how Ezra and Jonathan Majors not in jail. How is fucking Mel Gibson not in jail?
Really good lawyers, I
Man,
hope.
Mel Gibson just out here living. He making low budget movies, but he's still making them. He's the real man.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a lot of good movies coming out. This gonna be a packed summer. I'm gonna dump a lot of money to AMC because I'm hoping some movie gonna blow up and make a billion. I'm hoping.
Yeah,
Maybe
like
that new Mission Impossible gonna make it go to the
oh,
moon.
that's
Buy me a
right.
couple stocks in it.
That's
You
right. That
know,
is coming out.
that's another movie franchise I gotta see. I've only seen one Mission Impossible movie.
Which one?
The last one that came out.
I mean, they're all really solid. I mean, two had its problems that people like kind of complained about because John Woo directed it and like they kind of
Yeah.
jumped. Well, they absolutely jumped the shark with a lot of the scenes and the gadgets, but they toned it back down with three, which was it's got Seymour Philip Hoffman. I mean, Philip Seymour Hoffman. I'm sorry. Who was probably one of the best villains you'll see in the series so far. Ghost Protocol was excellent. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think it was Fallout. Like when I saw one with Henry Cavill as the villain.
That was really good.
That was amazing. But yeah, we got that coming out. Indiana Jones coming out in 2 weeks. I'm looking forward to seeing that. My first time seeing an Indiana Jones movie in theaters, so I'm looking forward to that experience.
I never seen the Indiana Jones movie in the theater, so I'm looking forward to that. I want to see Raiders in the theater, but I missed out on that.
I think I did. I did too, Danny. I did too. I wanted these. I want to see one of these old movies in theater just for that experience.
Oh my god, yeah.
That's just. I'm looking forward to that.
I
And
saw
I
Empire.
saw the trailer again today in theaters, and like it makes you feel that trailer like I wasn't alive then, but I guess that's the marketing of a good trailer. It makes you feel nostalgic for a time I've never even seen, and I'm looking forward to that movie. I'm not
I
gonna
like
go on a
James
Temple of Doom
Mangold.
rant. I'm not gonna go on a Temple of Doom rant. I'm gonna say that for another week, another day, another time.
Yeah, you already know my thoughts on that.
But we're going to this for another time. But anyway, this review's been long enough. It's about 40 minutes. But we got to give a score for the actual movie. But I give this movie. I'm gonna give about 3.5 out of 5. No, about a 7 out of 10. I see it in theaters. Just for the some of the effects are good. Some of them aren't so good. So buyer beware. Yeah, I'll recommend this movie to people. If you have
I'm
no
honestly the
morals,
same.
if you're okay with supporting people who beat women and kidnap kids,
I'm also in the same boat. I give it roughly the same. If it's like out of 5, I give like a 3.5. Because like you sober up from like the crazy rush of that movie in the wildness. Like I think it's a solid 3.5 out of 5. If I had to like a 1 to 10, looking back, I'd say like a 7.5. Maybe being generous, like pushing 8 out of 10 because of some of the things that they were going for and like how it kind of worked past the detractors. It was pretty solid.
yeah, it's a good movie. Anyway, it's been an episode of Rotten Reviews. Thanks for your watching and listening. Shout out to my boy Bruce for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, until next time, peace out.